Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a 16-year-old singer-songwriter who has been performing for almost 10 years. That is so unbelievable. I'm so proud she's Canadian. Please welcome Sydney Bergevin. Hi, Sydney.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
That's great. Now, you absolutely blow me away. How old were you when you started getting interested in music?
I've always kind of enjoyed music and I've liked singing. When I was little, my dad told me that I was like a radio because I just always knew music because I listened to it all the time. So I would start saying lyrics to my dad in the kitchen, but I started taking music lessons when I was around 6 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's when I started getting interested in the music industry and everything that had to do with it, and this more technical side of music and writing and notes and reading music and stuff like that.
Wow. You don't sound 16. You sound way older. Now, you held leading roles in many musical theater productions, and you recorded an album, In Other Words, in 2016, featuring songs from the American Songbook. What was that like performing in musical theater? Was that hard getting up in front of, I still can't imagine how you can get up in front of people and sing. So, was that a lot of fun, or did it start you on your path to your album? How did that work?
I've always loved musical theater. I've explained this to my mom too, because when I was younger, I had horrible stage fright and I couldn't sing in front of two people, let alone, an entire audience full of people. But once you get up on stage, I forget what my drama teacher called it. She calls it the light barrier, I think. And since the light is in your eyes, you can't see anything, which is nice. It's a nice little perk, not being able to see that they're staring at you. But another thing is what I kind of do is I accept the role as the character, and I think, anything embarrassing or weird or maybe a little bit uncomfortable or not like me that I'm doing up here, that's not me, that's my character. So, and people ask you about it, and it's like, oh, well, that wasn't me. That was, let's say, like Tracy or Olive or something like that, and you can basically blame it on the character and not you.
I wish I could do that. That's pretty cool. I know what you're talking about, the light barrier, because in radio I had to, do all kinds of things in front of people, and I was terrified. And it's kind of nice that you're in your own little bubble, because you can't see anybody. So I know what you're talking about there. Now, you write songs as well. When did you start writing songs? How old were you?
I started writing music when I was around 10. It was nothing noteworthy. It was kind of like, little slurs of songs, and you think of a little jingle or whatever, and then you sing it to yourself and then forget it the next day, and then you think about it again, but it would be slightly different, and it was stuff like that, and it's kind of slowly evolved into, writing it down, recording it, taking down the notes and the keys and stuff like that so I can actually remember it, and then, taking it to other writers and having their input and stuff like that. So little things like that have become slowly, very slowly, into something a little bit bigger and something more serious, which is nice to see.
Yeah, no kidding. I couldn't, like I said, you blow me away. Now, do you play any instruments?
I play enough piano and guitar to get me by in finding keys and accompanying myself when writing. I couldn't play, with myself, but, when you do the whole chords, just to get the whole rhythm and, key and tone as you want it. But of course, and then you think, you did band in middle school, and I did clarinet and flute, which was an experience.
Wow. Yeah. No, because I know a lot of people that write songs do play a little bit of guitar because they say it helps with the songwriting process. But like I said, I wouldn't know, which is why I asked. Now, you live just outside of Niagara Falls in Welland, Ontario. Is that right?
Around there, yeah.
Okay. So, are there a lot of venues? I know Niagara Falls is huge and has casinos and stuff. Being 16 years old, I'm sure you can't go into bars and stuff like that where, you know, a lot of people gig. Where do you perform mostly?
It's funny you say that because when I first started gigging, I would there's a place in St. Catharines called the Mate Cafe, and like you do coffee shops and places that don't have alcohol licenses, which is nice. But then once you get a little bigger, it's you can talk to people and people come up to you and they're like, "Oh, you want to perform in my bar?" And you're like, "Oh, well, I'm an infant, so like I'm not sure." Okay, and they're like, "Oh, like how old are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, 16." And they're like, "Okay, so that's not okay." And they'll say, "Oh, can you have your parents come?" And for sure. And then you can ask, "Oh, do you serve food?" And apparently, technically, if they serve food, they're a restaurant. So it's just kind of, and I know this sounds bad, but it's working around the system a little bit, trying to be like, "Oh, they're a restaurant that has an alcohol license, not technically a bar. And as long as I perform, in a certain area, it's complicated, but it's fun."
Yeah, well, and I actually, it is a law that if you go to a bar, if your parents are accompanying you and they do have a food license, you're so right. You can go in and perform. So you can actually go in and just hang out with your parents, which, yeah, blew me away when I found that out. So yeah, that's why I wanted to ask. So where else do you perform? Have you ever performed at the casino or anywhere in Niagara Falls?
No, I've never performed at the casino, but I do perform quite a bit in Niagara Falls. I do, bars, of course. I'll do different restaurants, and I'm about to do a house party in Niagara Falls, which is nice. I haven't performed at any of the casinos. I would love to, but unfortunately that opportunity hasn't come up yet. But Niagara Falls is definitely probably one of the biggest venues for me right now, just because of, all the people and tourists and different restaurants, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place to visit because I've gone. Now, you're still in school, right?
Yes, I
am. And where, do you go? I know you were in Europe. Is that where you go to school or?
No, that was a school trip about the Battle of Vimy Ridge. It was kind of awful. I'm kind of a history buff when it comes to world wars. I think they're neat. But I go to Notre Dame in Welland.
Oh, okay. And your favorite subject is working as a peer?
Oh, a peer tutor. It's I basically assist and hang out with the special needs kids at my school.
That is cool. I did that too. When I read that, I was like, I did that too. Now, you like all kinds of music.
I do.
What kind of genre would you call your music? Or is it kind of everything?
Yeah, I've been asked that a lot, and you get pushed to label yourself as a genre, and you're told that you need to be a certain thing. And I've been thinking about it, and I've been leaning towards indie rock or jazz, of course, and then there's country, and there's all these different aspects. But in my point of view of what I've thought, you can always just kind of pick and choose the different aspects you like from each genre and kind of mush them together, which probably isn't a genre of itself, but I guess it depends mostly on the mood of the song and the message I'm trying to get across.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. I have tried to label myself many times. I promise. I've tried to be like, oh, well, I'm this, or I'm jazz, or that. It's just and then you always say that, and the next day you're like, man, like this sound is so cool, and it's metal. Oh, great.
Well, and I think it's kind of cool that you can't label yourself. Being outside the box gives you way more opportunities than labeling yourself and putting yourself kind of in a box. So I think it's cool that you like all kinds of music and Adele and country. And now you performed with pianist Eddie Bullen and Liberty Silver, and they're a Juno Award winning jazz singer. He is. That must have been an excellent opportunity for you. What was that like?
It was awe-inspiring. It's funny because I've been working with Liberty on my vocal skills and performance, just because it helps to get out of your box and be able to communicate with the audience because it makes it more fun to watch. Mm-hmm. She's been teaching me how to talk to people, just because I wouldn't call myself a particularly social person, but she has helped a ton. And you get up on stage with her, and and my parents had said this, that you sing so much better when you're next to her, just because, and this may sound bad, but you're trying to prove something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go and you're like, oh, well, you know, she's amazing, but I want to show that I'm equivalent, or, you know, close to equivalent, because, yeah, you push a little harder, I guess.
Yeah, when you're up on stage with somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that you got to do that, because I still, like I said, you blow me away. I still can't believe you're 16 years old. You have a song on radio, which is Can You Find Me Tonight, which is excellent. I mean, it's every artist's goal is to get radio play. Now, you're independent, right? You're not signed to anybody.
No, I'm not signed.
Okay. Is that your goal, or do you want to stay kind of independent?
I would like to be signed. I think it's always a great opportunity. There's plenty more doors to be opened when you do get signed, which is kind of something you can't pretend doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, I'm liking the independence because I'm kind of searching for my genre. As I said earlier, I'm just kind of searching for my sound and what best suits me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe doing that with a record label might be a bit confusing.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think maybe, you know, if you get signed and then you decide, oh, well, you know, this is a rock label, but I've decided that I want to be smooth jazz. So I think that might be a little confusing. So before anything happens, I would really like to, you know, put my roots somewhere and decide, like, okay, this is my sound and kind of what speaks to me best as a musician.
And go from there, yeah. Have you ever gone to Nashville?
Nashville, yes. I'm actually wearing a Nashville shirt right now.
So you've kind of been part of, like, they call it, I want to go, it's on my bucket list, but the writer's circle that they have down there where everybody helps everybody out. It just sounds like an amazing adventure. And have you ever gone to that, or?
I've never been to a writing session down there, although I was talking to, you know, some different people about the opportunity to, and I would absolutely love to. But when I went, it was mostly just checking out the music down there, and then, of course, we went to Studio B, which was an amazing experience, and you can see the different studios and how they record, and then I learned about the different writing styles down there, which was really cool, and you know, you just I got to know the scenery a little bit better before you kind of go somewhere and decide, okay, I'm going to write here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I hope you get the opportunity to experience it, because from what every artist that I've talked to that has gone down has just said it's the best experience they've ever had. So hopefully you do get to experience that. Now you're competing in it's Canada's 150th birthday this year, which is awesome. And you're competing in a competition near Welland, Ontario, and you're presently top 10. What is that all about?
It's, I don't want to explain it wrong, because I want to make sure people get the right message about it. It's sort of like a talent show almost, and it shows different, you know, people's, like, there's dancers, and there was a massive band of older people with, you know, mandolins and violins, all this cool stuff that was really cool. There's musicians, like myself, or magicians, like, to do magic and cool stuff like that. There was a rapper.
Oh.
Yeah, and I like to say that it's sort of showing the different talents that we have around Welland and Niagara, and, you know, you can see the different, you know, groups of people that we have here, which is actually really amazing, and, you know, I think it's just, it's showing that we are more than just, like, a small town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like to say because we have so many amazing groups of people and so many talented people, and then of course you go there and you meet a guitar player and you're like, oh man, can I have your card? Like,
yeah.
Do you want a gig sometime? Yeah,
I guess it would be good to have get contacts while you're there. Well, it sounds like it would be fun to watch because it sounds very diverse. Which, yeah. Now, okay, so you're 16. Now you're also known as Sydney B, which I thought was really cool. I like that name, actually. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're on your way. Your songs are amazing, and your talent is undeniable, and you're beautiful. And I just, when you said earlier that you're not very social, it it cracked me up a little bit because, I mean, you get up on stage and perform in front of people and you think that people that can do that are social, but I'm finding out that a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are really shy and, don't like going up and talking to people, which blew me away when I found that out. So it was just kind of funny when you said that because I've heard a couple other people saying that. Now, I guess I'm going to I ask every artist that comes on with any kind of experience, you kind of know what to do to get to where you want to go. So if you were giving somebody advice that just started out, what kind of advice would you give them, do you think?
Write music, write every kind of music, write 30 billion songs and just put everything out there. Take your best stuff and throw it out there and put it online and, share it and get other people to share it and just, get noticed, I guess, and do what you love. And if you don't think your sound is right, you know best. Mm-hmm. Don't follow, trends and stuff because trends are changing so incredibly quickly that nobody can ever keep up with them.
Yeah.
Just do what you think is right and what sounds good to you, and other people will think it's right and sound good to them too.
Awesome. That's great advice. Okay, so we're going to hear 2 songs of yours. I'm urging everybody to go watch YouTube, wherever you can find Sydney, go and watch her because she is an amazing performer and she is very, very talented. And like I said, I'm prouder than you can even imagine because I'm Canadian. So anybody that represents Canada and shows them that, we've got a lot to offer is near and dear to my heart. So what 2 songs are we going to hear from you, Sydney?
Can You Find Me Tonight and No More Waiting. Okay,
so and Can You Find Me Tonight is the one that's getting radio play, but No More Waiting is also getting a lot of recognition as well.
Hopefully, yeah.
It is, trust me. Now, do you find social media helps a lot now with independent younger artists that are trying to get out there?
Yeah, I think it helps a ton because when you look online, you go on YouTube and Facebook even, and you can go in your little video area and you can scroll through and you see so many new artists and stuff like that. I think, because I don't really watch TV and I know like a bunch of my friends don't, and you go online and you go watch videos online. So I think it's definitely a great way to get yourself out there.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. It's probably a lot easier nowadays than it was like when I was growing up when there was like no computers. Okay, so we're going to hear those 2 songs from you. I'm urging everybody to purchase these songs anywhere you purchase your music online. They are beautiful. Please support Canadian talent and get this girl noticed because she needs to be noticed. She is a talent. And I am so glad that you came on my show, and I feel like I'm your mom, even though your mom's sitting there right with you. It's just because I'm so proud of you. So I hope that you soar, and I hope you get everything that you dream of and get signed, and I hope one day I watch you walking up and getting a Grammy. So all the best to you, Sydney, and thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. And that's also one thing I want to say. Anything that happens that's big or huge in your life regarding, your songs or anything, you have me on Twitter. Your mom's got me on email. Always let me know because my door is never closed. You can come back anytime you want to share any kind of news you want. I also have a new part of my website called Odds and Ends because I had Cody Prevost sent me his new single and then Dean Young sent me his new single. So I wanted to be able to showcase these songs. So if you come out with a new single that you want to share, by all means, share it with me. But yeah, anytime you have something new, let me know. Keep in touch.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never, ever know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. Cheers.